Hi everybody, it's still Saturday. I did another post, another video that I haven't put up on YouTube yet. But this is in conjunction with that. I've been doing other things. So, it occurs to me, and now I'm talking about riders that have some experience, maybe they have quite a lot of experience, that going along with that communication process, you might find that you have a particular canter lead that your horse is having trouble picking up, or maybe the horse will move off one of your legs and not the other, or the horse stays nice and round and relaxed in the walk and trot, but as soon as you ask for the canter, the head pops up, or not only does it pop up, but it might stay up. So going back to that simplest, most fundamental part of all of this, not necessarily, I shouldn't say all of it, but a good place to start is to think about the relationship in your horse between the horse's body posture and the shape of their feet, and how athletic they are both sides. And when you can put that into perspective, and you discover that there is a difference in the shape of the horse's body from one side to the other, and you want to be pretty careful about noticing those things, then you can begin to understand how the horse would be more physically capable as opposed to being disobedient in certain movements on one side versus the other. One of the things I really like to do is take the equipment off the horse, have somebody hold the horse in a location where the camera person can get up above the horse at the back end of the horse and take a photograph from the top of the horse's tail to the space on their poll between their ears. And you want the person holding the horse to hold the horse's head and neck as straight as possible. When you do that, and then afterwards you compare the height of the hind quarters, the pelvis, the shape and posturing of the rib cage, and the slope of the shoulders. Is one lower or maybe stuck out more than the other? You want to notice those things. And if you see that there's fairly large deviations there, then it's worth your while to also take pictures of your horse's feet. And what I suggest is standing back far enough that you can see, let's work with either, we need both, the front feet and the hind feet, but shoot them separately. So if you're standing on the left side of the horse and you're shooting pictures of their front feet, you want to be able to see both front feet. They don't have to be a long way apart, but far enough apart that you can see the toe, heel, and the bottom of the foot where it's on the surface of the ground. And it's, excuse me, best if you can photograph the knees and hocks. Sometimes it's a little confusing to tell whether you're looking at front or hind feet if the tail isn't showing. Sometimes if the horse has got a bit of a shorter tail or it's tied up, it's a little tricky to tell. And so you want to shoot the front feet, both from the left and the right side. And you want to shoot the hind feet both from the left and the right side, because you might see things completely different from one side to the other. And then another really good thing to do is to get low. And of course, whether you're photographing the horse from up above or the hind from behind, looking forward through the hind legs to the front, or the front looking back to the front of the hind feet, you want to be careful that you're not spooking the horse and putting yourself in danger, or the person that's holding the horse. So it would be really easy for me to assume that the horse is well enough handled that the photographer could do those things without being in danger, but that actually might not be the case. I have seen not upper level dressage horses, but just below the Prix St. George level, that were so sore because of their hoof balancing or out of balance and saddle fit that didn't work well for them, that they were in so much misery that even when they were in their stall, they couldn't stand still because they were hurting that badly. Now, you don't see that degree of discomfort very often, but whenever I'm working with a horse that is going to be the horse and the rider or trainer or owner are going to be with me for a period of time, and what we're doing is important to them, then I really want to have those photo images. And usually I want to be able to work with the farrier, either long distance, and make suggestions and show the people that are with the horse, the owner, rider, if they're one and the same or two different people. I prefer to work with both of them, particularly the one that has the relationship with the farrier. And I find there's more than two, obviously, but I find that there's two extremes to the farrier world. The one is that, oh yes, I see what your trainer is talking about, and let me follow her suggestions and see if we can make this better. Or you get the other kind of person that says, absolutely not, I'm not going to do that. That is completely against my principles, and I'm not going to do it. And a lot of times farriers will fall somewhere in between those two categories. I just worked recently long distance with a farrier that actually was very open to the suggestions and the changes, which were quite slight, shortening the distance between the hairline and the ground surface on the front of the toe, and taking off the toe flare on the front surface of the foot. Made a huge difference in the shape of the horse's foot. And when you change that shape and put it into balance, then what you're looking at is a horse that has a much better opportunity to be athletic. Now, one of the things that is a really good idea to do is to take a straight edge, whether it's a ruler or the edge of a book or whatever you have, or just your eye, and draw a line in your mind's eye from the front of the cannon bone straight down to the ground, and see where that line is in relationship to the last weight-bearing point of the foot. If the horse is barefoot, it'll be where the heel touches the ground. If there's a shoe on the foot, then it'll be where the back edge of the shoe touches the ground. And if you bring that line straight down from the front of the cannon bone all the way down through to the ground, you want the front of that cannon bone to be ahead of the back edge, or the last weight-bearing point of that foot, because then the horse's weight is being carried on the bones when it's behind then the horse's weight is being carried on the tendons and ligaments and joints, not on the column of bone. And that's a really important thing to understand. So now, once you have the photographic references for the shape of the spine from tail to head, and you have the photographic references of the horse's feet from front feet from both left and right side, and the hind feet from both left and right side, and if it's possible to take a picture of the horse's feet at the front, showing the front feet, and if possible, if it works that way, where the hind feet are in relationship to the front feet in terms of, are they out, or is one out and one's in, or are they both in, or you want to be able to see that. It's a little harder from the front. You might just see the front feet, but if you shoot a shot from behind, then, and you might have to step a little one side or the other, and then you can see the line from the back of the horse's knee that's dropped down straight, and you can see if there's any deviations through the bottom of the leg and foot. And once you understand that and what the horse is dealing with the balance of their body on top of their feet, then you can have an understanding of why that horse may have a problem doing certain things, either one side or the other.